What about this weekend? Do you have any plans?
I don't think so. Maybe tomorrow I'll stay at home all day because in weather forecast, yes, is planning heavy rain all day. So
Okay. We would say the weather forecast is predicting rain.
predicting,
Predicting rain.
predicting rain.
Okay. Nice. Yeah. Do you think it'll rain hard, or will it be just kind of like a drizzle?
No, it's worrying in our city that it is going to be very heavy rain. It's about uh, 5 centimeters of water.
Oh wow, that is a lot.
Yes.
Okay. What do you like to do on rainy days then?
I think I'm going to bake some cake, learn
Nice.
English. Yes,
Okay.
and that's all.
It sounds like a pretty good day. I haven't
Yes.
baked a cake in a long time. Sounds enjoyable.
Yes.
Okay. And Ana Carolina, welcome to class. How's it going?
Hi, teacher. I'm fine if you don't take into account that I put a bunch of dumbbells in a bar at the gym and I hurt my back because I was trying to show off
Oh
and
no.
and other things that happened to me this week. I'm great.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about the dumbbells. That's really unfortunate. Do you think it's going to be a pain that's going to be with you for a while, or do you think it'll go away soon?
I went to the doctor. He gave me some sick days and my medicine. But
Okay.
it was my fault because I did something really stupid, to show off that I am very strong and so
That's
on.
not good.
And yes, I was a bit angry, and then I thought if I lift a bunch of weight, I will feel better because I can put my anger away.
Yeah,
It was really silly to do.
that's unfortunate. I'm really sorry about that.
No, it was my fault. Well done.
Yeah,
I will learn from it. My silly things.
yeah. I guess, I mean, that makes sense, but still unfortunate. Uh, Ahab, welcome to class. Ahab, how's it going? Ahab?
Hi, teacher.
Hey, welcome to class. How's it going?
Thank you. It goes well.
It's going
And you?
well.
It's going well.
Yeah, it's going well. Yeah, thanks for asking. And Ahab, how do you pronounce your name? How do you say your name?
Yeah,
Ahab. Okay. Where are you from?
Libya.
Libya. All right, nice. And I guess what do you like to do? What do you do in your free time? Or what do you do for fun, Ahab?
Um, hang out with friends or going out with friends.
Nice. Yeah, solid. And Javier, welcome to class as well. Javier, how are you doing?
Hello, Joshua. I'm good, thank you. How about
Nice.
you?
Good. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. And Javier, what about you? What have you done today?
Yeah, usual days. I went to work in the morning, and after that, I went to running with some friends.
I went running with some
We
friends.
were
I didn't
running.
go too running. Yeah. Okay. Nice. And yeah, do you have any plans for this weekend, Javier?
Probably I'm going to a music festival nearby tomorrow
Nice.
afternoon, and yeah, that's it.
Sounds really enjoyable. Okay. Ehab, what about you? Any plans for the weekend?
Yeah, I'm planning to go out at night with friends. There's a concert in Oslo City, so
Cool.
Yeah.
In
we'll go.
Oslo.
Yeah.
Nice. Oslo is not in Libya, though.
I live in Norway, but I'm from Libya.
Yeah. Okay, cool. How long have you been living in Norway?
Almost 1 year now.
Nice. Okay, cool. And Anna Carolina, what about you? Any plans for the weekend?
Yes, I will have people over my house. I will receive some guests and
Okay.
we will have fun.
Nice. All right, that sounds good. Yeah, perfect. And I think that's everybody for the moment. Let's get started with today's class. And let's start with Ksenia. Can you read the title in the next few lines?
Decisions. Today we will learn decision-making idioms, read comics about big decisions, learn about irrational decisions, and practice a role play.
Nice. Okay, yeah, really well done. And let's go. Ksenia, can you ask Javier the first question?
Javier, who do you ask for advice before making important decisions? Why?
Mainly, I ask my family and close friends, but after asking, I make my own decision. So I'm looking for advice, asking to my father, mother, and sister, but finally I take the decision on my own. Yeah.
Okay, I make the decision on my own. Okay, yeah. And Javier, can you ask Ahab the next question?
Yeah. What was an important decision you made last year? Talk about it and why it was important.
Yeah, the most important decision was leaving my country.
Okay, and yeah, so how did you come to make the decision? Why did you make the decision? Yeah, can you explain?
Uh, um, uh, Before I leave, the country was in a bad situation and entering a new war. So I was thinking what's the best for me.
Yeah, it was the best choice for me.
Yeah, best
Yeah.
choice for me.
Definitely. Okay, really hard choice too, but good answer. Okay, and I think we're good on this page. Maybe let's have Ahab. Can you ask Anna Carolina the first question?
Anna Carolina, who do you ask for advice before making important decisions and why?
I ask my friends, my close friends, because if I ask my parents, I know all answers. Um, I know them, and sometimes I, I don't ask anyone. I just do things without think about them before. And then I regret.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
regret them. Yeah. Okay, good answer.
Sorry, teacher, is it okay if you zoom the screen a bit?
Yeah, that good?
Thank you.
Yeah, and Ksenia, you keep getting stuck with reading stuff. Ksenia, can you read the title and the words?
Vocabulary. Discuss, argue, contemplate, regret, anxiety, possibilities, repercussions, rational, irrational,
Good. Let's
anxiety,
look. Good. And contemplate.
contemplate,
Perfect.
contemplate. Mhm.
Contemplate. And good job with anxiety. Does anybody have any questions about any of these? Okay. No questions? Let's have...
Ask you, please, what does anxiety mean?
Okay. Anxiety. And Ksenia, can you make a sentence with anxiety?
Anxiety, it's worrying about something, am I right?
Yeah.
I feel some anxiety about following exams.
About what exams?
Following exams. The
Following
following exams.
exams. Okay. Yeah. Definitely. Good answer. Any other questions? Anything else? Okay. Yeah, good. Let's go on. And let's try this. Let's have Javier. Can you read the title and read the first idiom?
On the fence. I'm on the fence as to whether I want to travel or stay at home during my next vacation.
Okay. And what do you think that means, Javier?
I'm on the fence. I'm between two options, or I'm on the fence. Yeah, on the fence is a
Yeah.
fence. It's a stuff to separate something, no? So you are between to to make two decisions, no?
Hmm. Yeah, so you can't decide between two things.
Two things.
Yeah, good. And Ehab, do you think you could make a sentence with on the fence?
Um, uh, I'm on the fence, so I have to go or back.
Do I have to go
It's
or go back?
it comes the same as either, right? Or
It's like I'm undecided between two options. So you're not sure which of two options you're going to take. Does that make sense?
mm, so then I can say I'm not sure if it's right or not, but I don't know if I go school or stay home.
Okay. And I'm on the fence.
Um,
Can you read that whole sentence one more time?
I don't know if I should go to school or stay home. I'm on the fence.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. And Ana Carolina, can you read this next one?
Hedge your bets. The company hedged its bets by developing a second line of products.
Good. Okay. What's that mean?
To have more options, you know, like a plan B, teacher.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
for instance, to invest your money in a bunch of different investments to make sure that you can have profit.
Yeah, or make sure that you won't lose everything.
Yes.
Yeah, good. Ksenia, can you make a sentence with hedge your bets?
Hedge your bets. It's mean don't put all eggs in one basket.
Uh-huh. Yeah, can you make a sentence with it though? So use it in like a sentence.
So it's my sentence.
Okay, I guess that's a good sentence. That's more of like a definition sentence though.
Okay.
How'd you use it in like everyday speech?
Mm, it's um. mm, I think I should convert my rubles into euro and dollars to hedge my bets.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm not even sure how to say rubles.
Yes, I think it's something like
Could be.
no ruble. Yes, it's big.
Rubles.
Hmm.
Okay. Into euros and dollars to hedge my bets. Yeah. Against an economic crash, maybe. But yeah, that's good. Really nicely done. David, how's it going? David, are you there?
You hear me, Joshua?
Can hear you now. How's it going?
It's going well. I'm still on vacation. How are you?
Doing pretty well. Thanks for asking.
Good.
And cool. Let's go on. Okay, let's try this. And where are we? I think we're with Javier. Can you read the role of Calvin? And let's have Ahab. Can you read the role of Hobbes, the tiger?
The more you know, the harder it is to take decisive action. Once you become informed, you start seeing complexities and shades of grey. You realize that nothing is as clear and simple as it first appears. Ultimately, knowledge is paralyzing. Being a man of action, I can afford to take that risk.
You are ignorant, but at least you act on it.
Good. Ahab, can you repeat ignorant? Ignorant?
Ignorant.
Nice. And maybe Ahab, what's happening in this comic? Can you explain it? Or maybe let's look at the first one. Let's only stick with the first box. What's he saying there, Ahab?
The more you know, the harder it's to take decision action.
Okay. Yeah, so what's that mean?
Maybe the more you are older, the more it's harder to take action. The more you are older, the decision gets more serious and hard to take.
Not the older you get. So it doesn't really have anything to do with age. It's the more you know.
Okay, so the more you know, it's
Yeah.
the more you know.
Are you still there? Ahab?
Yeah, I think yeah, but I'm not quite sure. Maybe if someone in a more high position or
Maybe.
like
some
a
extent.
manager or something like this.
Like
his
what?
decisions- like for example, the manager, his decisions is more hard than the normal worker.
Yeah. I mean, to some extent, that's right. I think you're making it a little bit more complicated than it has to be. Maybe, David, can you explain that first box?
Sure. It says the more you know, the harder it is to take decisive actions. Means that when you have more knowledge, because you have too much knowledge, it's hard for you to decide which one is the right one, the right decision to take.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
So It could be if you're like a manager in a high position. It could be a lot of different things. But generally, it's just the more knowledge you have, the harder it is to make a decision. Does that make sense, Ahab?
Yeah.
Okay. And Anna Carolina, I mean, I guess this next one is kind of pretty much the same thing. It's just clarifying it a little bit. What about the third one, Anna Carolina? Can you explain that third box?
Okay. My gosh. And nothing is as simple as you believe, you know. There are things implicit on every little thing. Implicit. Ah, my gosh. Implicit in every little thing. Mm, something like that.
What's the last thing he says?
Everything is complicated.
Yeah, and then knowledge is paralyzing. What's that mean?
Knowledge is paralyzing. More knowledgeable you are, less, my gosh, less confident you are, because you know more about the cons and the consequences and so on.
Yeah, okay, good. So less confident you are, like the less able you are to make a quick decision. And Ksenia, can you explain the last box?
So Kevin said that he man of action, so he don't want to know everything because he if he doesn't want to know everything because it can stop him from the action.
Yeah.
But Charlie, as usual, say that the boy is only ignorant.
Yeah, but at least he acts on it. Yeah, so he's ignorant, but at least he acts on it. So at least he can still make those decisions. Yeah. And does anybody have any questions here on this comic? All right. And let's try this. Let's read these two. And let's start with Javier. Can you read actually both of these roles?
You don't know whether you should study abroad or study in your home country. Ask your parent for advice. Give your child advice.
Yeah, so pretty simple. Let's start with Ehab. If you are the student, how would you start the conversation?
Okay. My friend, I would like to ask you, what's the best for me?
That's good. Let's like introduce like what you're talking about first. So like pretend you're just seeing your parent for the first time. So like start with something simple like, "Hey, mom, can I ask you something?" or something along those lines.
Yeah. Hi, Jack. Can I ask you something, please?
Yeah, and remember you're asking a parent for advice, but you could
Hi,
call
Mom.
your
Can I ask you something? Ah, parent. Okay.
Yeah. Can I ask you something? That works. David, how would you respond?
Sure, my son. What is it?
Nice. And Ana Carolina, how would you respond?
Well, Mom, I was wondering. I have some friends who are going to do an exchange, and I'd like to know what do you think about it? Um, I'd like to travel abroad and to meet people from other countries and to learn a new language. Would you allow me to go if I ask you?
Yeah. Good. And how would you respond, Ksenia?
Of course, but I think you shouldn't stop on one option. You should hedge your bets and send your resume to a few universities.
Okay. You shouldn't stop on one option. It sounds a little bit awkward to say you shouldn't stop on one option. Can you think of another way you might say that?
I think you shouldn't. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a little bit tricky.
You said it, Ksenia. The phrase, the
I'm sorry?
opposite of it. You said it before. The opposite of hedge your bets.
Maybe yes. You shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah. Yeah, you could
Thank you,
definitely say
Anna.
that. Okay. Perfect. And Javier, how would you respond?
Yeah, I weighed up all my possibilities, and I think that the best option is to go to study abroad for a while, 6 months, and work in a part time during the weekends or in the afternoons.
Nice. Yeah, I think that sounds good. And Ahab, how would you respond?
Yes. Yes, that's good, my son. But you still,
About what?
you still should um, work hard and I don't know.
Okay. But you should still work hard and I don't know. Okay, David, how would you continue with some parental advice? What's some more parental advice, David?
Okay, so thanks, good. Sounds good, my son, but I still should work hard and I don't know. I believe that you should also try to get information from your friends who have been abroad to find out what is the best program for you and also in your field.
Yeah. Nice. Really good job. Now, Catalina, how would you respond?
Some friends told me that there are some programs where you can volunteer to work and you can have your expenses paid for a while, and if if I'd like to study. I heard that Australia is cheaper than the US.
You think
I
it's cheaper
don't.
than the U.S.?
Australia? Yes, I think so.
No
And
way, man.
it is. It is. My nephew went there, teacher.
Are you thinking
Australia.
Austria?
Australia.
Australia's super expensive.
No, my nephew went there
Huh.
in
Okay.
college. I'm sure that it was cheaper.
I don't know.
Okay, but
Okay.
I don't want to volunteer. I want to study and get a
Uh-huh.
job where I can get paid.
Uh-huh. Can get paid. Good. Okay. And Senya, how'd you respond?
Mm, it's your choice, of course, but I think it will be very hard to you um, to mix
Sorry. It will be really
uh,
hard to mix.
studying and job. And you know, me and your father, I won't be able to help you with money. So think hard before you make a choice.
Nice. Good. Okay. You and your father and I want to be able to help you with money?
I won't be able. Won't.
Won't.
Yes.
Nice. Okay. And perfect. Javier, how'd you respond?
Okay, I'll do it. Mm, What do you think about to go there for a year?
Uh, what would you say if I went there for a year?
Yeah,
Um,
what would you say
or,
if I go there for a year?
or what do you think about me going there for
Mhm.
a year?
Okay, what do you think?
All right. And Ehab, how would you respond?
And what's your plan for this year? For that year you wanna go? In that year you wanna go there? Or
I want to see your plan for that year that you want to go. Okay, good. I think we're good here too. Um, does anybody have any questions here? Okay. Let's skip that for now. Um, let's try this comic actually. And let's have David, can you read the role of the worker? Ana Carolina, can you read the role of the boss? And let's have Ksenia, can you read the role of the second worker?
Mm-hmm.
So am I the worker?
Yeah, David.
Okay. So that's my problem. And I'm curious how you would try to solve it if you were me.
You actually care about my opinion?
Yes, I really do.
Are you any closer to solving your problem?
Yep. So far, I've eliminated all the choices that idiots would make.
Good. Nice. And Ana Carolina, what's happening here?
He just called me an idiot.
Yeah, he just called me an idiot. Can you explain a little bit more in depth?
Yes, he asked my opinion because he just care about it to do the opposite.
Yeah. Yeah. That's perfect. Does anybody have any questions here?
Where do you get these comics from?
Where do I get the comics from?
Yeah.
Online. I have like my favorite comics that are
get-
generally good.
I can tell you are a comic aficionado.
Yeah. Yeah, I am. I think they're good ways for learning another language.
I think it's fantastic, but I'm every time I read one of your comics, I feel like I'm a comic inept, so I need to read. That's what I'm asking you to, some the website so I can read more. Because I mean, it's simple, but it's I don't get it. I have to think too much. Like, what? Maybe that's what it is. I'm thinking too much.
Yeah, I mean, generally they're pretty simple. I think you can look up pretty much most of the Calvin and Hobbes ones. Just on Google, you can get lots of different websites that talk about people's favorites, and if you remember. Yeah, but Googling most of them. This one's Dilbert, I think.
Okay.
So Dilbert's pretty funny too.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And all right, let's do a little bit of reading. This might be a little bit difficult, but we'll talk about this. Ksenia, can you read the title?
False dilemma.
And the paragraph?
The bifurcation fallacy is committed when a false dilemma is presented, i.e., when someone is asking to choose between two options when there is at least one other option available. Of course, argument that restricts the options to more than two but less than there really are similarly fallacious.
Are similarly fallacious.
Similar. It's very difficult word. Similarly. Similarly.
Yeah, and then fallacious.
Fallacious.
Nice. And the bifurcation fallacy. That's a tough word. Bifurcation.
Bifurcation.
Good. Yeah. And so let's have Javier. What is this talking about? What is this even saying? Javier?
Yeah.
Actually, we should read the examples first. Javier, can you read the first two examples?
Yeah, definitely. Examples. Either a creator brought the universe into existence, or the universe came into existence out of nothing. The universe didn't come into existence out of nothing because nothing comes from nothing.
Good. And let's have Ehab. Can you read this next part?
The third.
Therefore.
A creator brought the universities into existence. The first premise of this argument presents a false dilemma. It might be thought that the universe neither was brought into existence by a creator, nor came into existence out of nothing, because it existed from eternity.
Eternity.
Sorry?
Eternity.
Eternity.
Yeah, and then thought.
Thought.
Dilemma.
The dilemma.
Dilemma. Universe.
Universe.
Good. All right, and yeah, really well done. Let's have David. Can you read the next part?
Sure. Another example emerged when George W. Bush launched the War on Terror insisting that other nations were either for or against America in her campaign, excluding the quite real possibility of neutrality.
Good. Yeah. And so, David, in your own words, can you describe what a false dilemma is?
Yes, it's a dilemma means that you have two choices, choice A or choice B. A false dilemma is when you think that's the only two choices that we have, only choice A or B. It might be or there might be as well be another choice, choice C. So a false dilemma is when you just think or you just present two dilemmas. We have to choose either this one or the other one. But you say, well, wait a minute, it's not only A or B. It could be also letter C or D or E. You know.
Yeah.
So that's what it is.
For sure. Really well done. Ana Carolina, can you think of any like false dilemmas in your life, or any false dilemmas that you see in the news now? Anything in your life that you can relate it to? Any false dilemmas? It's a really hard question, I know. Okay.
Yes, very difficult.
Okay.
Teacher,
Yes.
what does fallacy and fallacious?
Okay. A fallacy. Does anybody know what a fallacy is?
It's a false statement. It's a fallacy.
Yeah. A fallacy is a false statement. It's like an incorrect way of thinking. So deceptive, misleading, false.
Okay.
And
I
fallacious would be just false or
Okay.
incorrect.
Maybe I have one. I'm not sure. Okay, it's silly. What
Okay.
comes first? The egg or the
Yeah.
chicken?
Exactly. Or the chicken. That's a really good one. Nice, and it's really simple too. So why is that a fallacy, Ana Carolina?
Why?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, because you cannot figure out an answer.
And the answer is not either of those two options, right?
Right. The answer is an egg, but an egg from another kind of bird because of the Darwinism,
Yeah, because of evolution.
the evolution.
Exactly. So what came first, the chicken or the egg? It presents you with a false dilemma. So you don't have just those two options because it's a little bit of both. Yeah. And yeah, really, really well done. Okay. Does anybody have any questions here? Okay. Really good job. Let's skip that for now. Okay. We probably should have started with that. We could try another role play. We could do more reading about different types of fallacies. What do you guys want to do? Any
Reason?
more reading? Okay. Let's talk about. Yeah, we could talk about this then. Let's have Ksenia. Can you read the first paragraph?
Ad hominem personal attack. It is important to note that the label ad hominem is ambiguous, and that not every kind of ad hominem argument is fallacious. In one sense, an ad hominem argument is an argument in which you offer premises that the arguer, don't accept, but which the listener does accept, in order to show that his position is incoherent. There is nothing wrong with this type of argument ad hominem.
Yeah, let's look at ambiguous.
Ambiguous.
And then incoherent.
Incoherent.
Hmm? Okay. Really nice job other than that. This is a little bit complicated. Does anybody have any questions here? First of all, any questions about any of the words?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh. A teacher. It's difficult, this
It
paragraph.
is.
It's not about the words themselves, you know. You have to clarify, please.
Okay. So the first part is it's important to note that this idea of ad hominem, like the name of it, it's ambiguous. So it means it can go more than one way. So not every ad hominem argument is wrong. It's not always like fake, or it's not always an incorrect way of thinking. So in this case, you can say you're presenting an argument that you know is wrong. So you're presenting them with their argument. So it's something that you know the listener accepts in order to show that it is wrong, that it doesn't make any sense. So it's just arguing from their position to make it seem silly. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's not a fallacy. It's not a fallacious way of arguing. Does that make sense, Ana Carolina?
So.
Okay, so maybe you think the egg came first. And then, so I would be like, well, so consider that the egg came first. We would have to believe that an egg just appeared out of nowhere because, you know, this egg came first and obviously the chicken can't come first. It's like, that's an absurd argument. It doesn't make any sense, but that would have to be your argument if you were under the impression that the egg came first. That's the ad hominem argument, Ana Carolina. Does that kind of make sense now?
Yes, it's
Okay.
better, a bit better.
And let's have Javier. Can you read the next paragraph?
The other type of ad hominem argument is a form of genetic fallacy. Arguments of this kind focus not on the evidence for a view, but on the character of the person advising it. They seek to discredit positions by discrediting those who hold them. It's always important to attack arguments rather than arguers. And this is where arguments that commit the ad hominem fallacy fall down.
Yeah. Maybe discrediting.
Discrediting.
Good. Discrediting.
Discrediting.
Okay. And does anybody have any questions here? Okay. And what is it saying, Ahab? What's the second paragraph say?
Sorry, teacher, I really don't know.
Okay. It's tough.
Yeah.
David, can you explain?
Okay. I think have to do with the attacking the character, not the what the character is saying. So we're trying to discredit the person because of the person itself, not because of the what he's saying.
Uh-huh.
Maybe because of the stereotypes that we have about that person. Is that am I getting close?
That's exactly it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, so it could be because of a stereotype, or it could be because you disagree with them, or because maybe they abused their wife in the past. So, you know, you're not talking about the argument that they're... Sorry.
Bless
I
you.
just sneezed, thanks. So you're not talking about the argument itself, you're talking about, you know, something that the person does, or something that the person is, which doesn't have anything to do with the argument. Does that make sense, Ahab?
Yeah. think so.
Okay, so let's. Ehab, can you give an example of one of these types of ad hominem, um, like fallacies? So can you give us can you give us an example?
I feel it's more than my knowledge.
Okay. Maybe Anna Carolina. Could you give us an example?
Teacher, I'd rather read something.
Okay,
My
okay,
gosh.
we can. Yeah.
I
No, hold
don't
on.
know. I
No
don't
worries,
know.
that's fine. We'll give you something to read. Ksenia, what about you?
Mm, maybe it's some arguing between blondie girl and some man. So they are arguing about something, I don't know, maybe something. And then man said, I don't believe you because you are blonde, and blondie are always stupid. Something like that.
Exactly. Yeah,
You're a bimbo and you're always a bimbo.
exactly. For sure. I mean, that's exactly what that fallacy is. It's just like an incorrect reasoning. And people have it a lot, you know, if you're thinking about like racism, you can argue that like you can't understand this because of your race, or if you're thinking about even just like the way that people act in their everyday life, like you cannot be right because you think that the world is flat, so you can't be right about political ideas. Yeah.
However, I think there are some cases that you cannot. I mean, you can use this argument too, because, for example, let's say, for example, we're talking about women cases. You know, women
Uh-huh.
about. I mean, it happened in the United States. I think it was last year. They were trying to decide if women can consider. Uh, I'm just sorry, I'm blanking right now. Women
No
can
worries.
consider. No, the government were considering to pay for the pills, contraceptive pills,
Uh-huh.
and in the panel who were discussing this issue, which is about women, there was no women
They're
there.
all guys.
There were
Yeah.
guys, there were no women there. So, so in this case, we have to say, well, we are not women, we are men. We have an
Yeah.
ideas about what it's like to be a woman, but we need at least to bring one woman to talk about the topic,
For
right?
sure.
So in this
Yeah.
case, yeah, okay.
Yeah. No, that's a good way where, I mean, it's not necessarily an ad hominem fallacy. It's more like you can't talk about other people without knowing anything like about them or not being them. Yeah, but it's really close. Yeah, I think that's a good point. I don't know. I don't know maybe what to say other than yes. Okay, and all right, let's have Anna Carolina. Can you read this?
Okay. Irrational decisions. What is a logical fallacy? A logical fallacy is, roughly speaking, an error of reasoning. When someone adopts a position or tries to persuade someone else to adopt a position based on a bad piece of reasoning, they commit a fallacy. I say, roughly speaking, because this definition has a few problems, the most important of which are outlined below. Some logical fallacies are more common than others, and, and so have been named and defined. When people speak of logical fallacies, they often mean to refer to this collection of well-known errors of reasoning, rather than to fallacies in the broader, more technical sense given above.
Yeah, above. Can you repeat above?
Above,
Above. Above.
above,
And roughly.
roughly.
Good. Okay. And Javier, do you think you could can you think of any other logical fallacies, maybe? Or maybe, yeah. First of all, does anybody have any questions here? Okay. Javier, what about you? Do you have any questions here?
Yeah. No, I'm trying to read again because I.
Those are the most important sentences. So can you read those two sentences one more time?
Yeah, when someone adopts a position or tries to persuade someone else to adopt a position based on a bad piece of reasoning, they commit a fallacy. Some logical fallacies are more common than others, and so have been named and defined.
Yeah. So common bad reasoning things are fallacies. So we've got like two definitions here is what it's all saying. So the first definition is saying that like bad reasoning itself is a fallacy. So if you try to argue something incorrectly and don't use logic well, that's a fallacy. We also have really common things that people argue poorly, and these common bad things that are argued poorly are called fallacies. Does that make sense, Javier?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and so that's pretty much the idea of this. Ehab, can you think of any bad arguments that you've heard recently? Can you think of any bad arguments that you've heard recently? Anything works.
Any bad arguments? Bad?
Yeah.
Uh, uh, okay, I heard people from Germany talking about foreign people in Europe, and they say that the economy gets worse because of foreign workers and
Yeah, good. That's definitely a good one. I'm going to have to cut you short. We've got another class coming after this. If you guys want, we're going to be reading a little bit of Hemingway, so a short story. I do have to end class because I need to start on time. But thanks again for coming in, and hopefully I'll see you again soon.